Now the next matchup at 157 between guys that know each other oh so well. Ed Scott and Sonny Santiago.
Yeah, these two wrestlers split 1-1 last season. Santiago came up big in the duel, and Scott got the win in the ACC finals. This one's going to be exciting, and NC State needs it.
Scott, old, experienced, gritty, and tough. Santiago has worked his way back from injury this year, coming off a Tech Fall win this past week.
Yeah, Ed Scott's he's another veteran wrestler. He's been in the NC State lineup for a few years now. He's been a couple-time ACC champ. He's a very solid wrestler. He has a great lefty headlock. Loves to work out of the front headlock. Santiago has a great lefty single. Just saw an attempt there. He's going to be looking for that all night, and that key will be finishing.
Scott's won both his ACC championships with wins over North Carolina wrestlers. Beat Santiago last year. In 2022, beat Austin O'Connor 3-2.
That's some good wrestling here by Scott, but he doesn't have it yet. Santiago's keeping that whizzer tight. Scott's trying to sneak his arm out. And there's nothing yet. There's nothing yet. And they're saying Scott got the takedown when Santiago fell to his hip there. Oh, and a reversal. I think the referees discussed that in reaction time. Awarded no takedown.
Well, as soon as the three went up, the Carolina coaching staff immediately popped out of their seats.
That would have been a very quick takedown call. I think it was the right one. NC State doesn't elect to challenge the call. And that was some good chain wrestling by Scott off of Santiago's attempt to find the leg. Be strong here on the edge. Great job by Santiago staying in the circle.
Powerful left arm of Ed Scott coming into play.
Looking for that underhook once again. He's trying to push him out of bounds here. Get into that forced wizard position.
One more look at the takedown that wasn't.
For that split second, Santiago fell to his butt. I think that's when the ref saw the takedown, but it wasn't long enough. Great reaction by Santiago.
Both these fan bases so invested. North Carolina State wrestlers locked into this match at 157.
Single leg attempt by Santiago is countered by Scott. It's a great defense by Scott to see that coming. And a big mat return attempt by Scott. He needs to finish this period on top. Santiago. Santiago with the single leg attempt. Doesn't get to the leg, and just perfectly timed by Ed Scott with the sprawl.
Scott's dictated the tempo through the first 3 minutes. And he'll ride it out. Ed Scott 14th. Sonny Santiago 19th. Rafael Hippolito Jr., the top-ranked ACC wrestler at 157. Scott coming off a win over Dylan Evans. 5-3 in his last bout.
And what does that say about ACC wrestling? Seems like every single weight class is 5, 6, 7 ranked wrestlers deep.
Escape point for Ed Scott to start the second.
It's been a very good start to the match for Ed Scott. been on multiple shots here. He's had multiple chances to score.
Crowd back at it again. I was about to say, before that Scott takedown in the first, Vince Robinson is bouncing up and down in the North Carolina State bench. After that takedown the takedown points were reversed, he was hopping up and down on the right side of the mat. He's so into this.
Single leg attempt by Santiago. Couldn't get his hands locked. Santiago's got a very good single. He's going to be firing this off at least a couple more times this match. It's going to be about getting his hands locked. Scott's got he's a very good counter wrestler. He's seeing these shots coming and he's finding the angles off the shots. Another single leg attempt from Santiago. Scott knows it's coming. Santiago can't seem to crack that defense. And it looks like these two wrestlers are content to end this one on their feet.
Scott anticipating the shots at this point.
Now, Scott is anticipating those shots so quickly. Even at the end of that period right there, Santiago threw a fake, and Scott reacted so quickly to that. I'd like to see Santiago utilize his fakes to mess up Scott's defensive timing a little bit.
Another big mat return.
Right back up to his feet, though, for Santiago. And the refs are calling stalling tonight. They're not going to let him get away with that one.
Matt Popolizio, middle of the mat. Rob Cole out of his seat to say, let's keep this thing moving.
And you can feel the animosity between these two teams.
What do you think Coach Pop's saying to the officials here?
I think he's just complaining that call. When Santiago got to his feet, he was on the edge of the mat. As a wrestler, you'd like to be able to just pull him out of balance instead of expending all that energy for the return. And at home, a lot of the times you don't see that call. That's a 50-50 call, so I think Popolizio is just a little upset that the calls are not going their way.
Santiago a takedown away from a tie.
Santiago trying to add a little misdirection for the singles, trying to change things up a little bit, but not enough. And Santiago gets called for stalling as he puts himself on the edge of the mat.
Coaches in the red suits finally simmer down. So both sides with the stall warning.
Santiago's going to have to try something new. He's at that sitting in corner position. This is anyone's battle here. Scott's going to try to get his head under the leg and elevate his head high, get his head high and hips low. Scott's trying to put him over his head. Oh! And a kick out by Santiago. Ties it up.
4-4.
A beautiful kick out by Santiago. What a counter by Santiago. That's athletic.
35 seconds left.
This is gritty. This is tough for both wrestlers here. This is who wants it more. Scott finds his way out. He's got 20 seconds for Santiago.
Third meeting between these two. The rubber match has delivered. Scott with the escape point, 5-4.
There's not much time left. He's going to have to get something fast here.
And Scott, by the skin of his teeth, wins the third matchup between these two experienced foes. A very close decision. A late comeback from Santiago had us tied.
And we are 10-3 UNC.
North Carolina State on the board.